What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to Takedown MMA. Merab Dvalishvili wants a stupid amount of money to fight his best friend, Aljamain Sterling, and Conor McGregor has sent death threats to Tom Aspinall. But why exactly? Let's find out this and more in today's video. Never in a million years will Merab Dvalishvili fight Aljamain Sterling, unless he's offered a whopping $10 billion. Dvalishvili jumped up to the #1 spot in the bantamweight rankings with his dominant win over Petr Yan at UFC Vegas 71, where he attempted 49 freaking takedowns. The Georgian absolutely smothered his Russian counterpart and put himself in pole position to fight for the bantamweight title. But here's the problem. Dvalishvili's best friend, Aljamain Sterling, has the belt wrapped around his waist for now, and as long as Funkmaster is the champ, Dvalishvili won't fight for the title. Dana White thinks that will be a big mistake.
Does Merab want a shot at the title, or would Merab rather have people under him jump over him and him have to take on all these different tough guys? That's a personal decision that he needs to make. If that's what he wants to do, I can tell you how that story ends. It's not a good ending to that story, but he's a big boy. He can figure that out on his own.
From a promoter's perspective, Dana is right as well, because Dvalishvili versus Sterling would be an intriguing fight with a very unique storyline. Dana thinks there is no room for emotional attachments in fight business, but Dvalishvili is pretty old school when it comes to these sort of things. And unless he's offered $10 billion, the UFC should forget about a fight between him and his brother from another mother, Aljamain Sterling.
They want me to fight Aljo, and maybe they have to pay $10 billion.
Yes.
And then yes, I'll be ready.
Interestingly, Henry Cejudo wants Merab Dvalishvili to serve as a backup for his fight against Aljamain Sterling at UFC 288, because the former two-division champ thinks the reigning bantamweight kingpin will somehow pull out.
So, dear Dana White, I'm over here watching the number 2 and number 3 contender, and I tell you what, I got a feeling that Aljamain is more likely going to kind of back out of this fight, right, Yuki? So that being said, why don't you give me Merab? Why don't you give me Merab? Since Sean O'Malley wants to wait, he wants to take his time.
Now that he is the #1 ranked guy in the division, Dvalishvili will be better served if he manages to secure a title shot as soon as possible. That is because the bantamweight division is full of absolute killers who are gunning for the spot that Merab now has. It's all about momentum in fighting, and Dvalishvili should cash onto it before it's too late. Francis Ngannou thinks Jon Jones immediately went for the takedown in his vacant heavyweight title fight against Ciryl Gane at UFC 285 because he was scared of the Frenchman's striking repertoire. Jones made his return to the octagon after 3 years to face Ciryl Gane for the vacant heavyweight title, which he won by submitting Ngannou in the first round. The title was vacated by Francis Ngannou, who was originally expected to welcome Bones to heavyweight, but due to his contractual dispute with the UFC, the Predator had to part ways with the promotion. In the aftermath of his departure, Ngannou was accused of running scared by both Dana White and Jon Jones.
I think Francis is in a place right now where he doesn't want to take a lot of risk. Feels like he's in a good position where he could fight lesser opponents and make more money.
Here is what Jones had to say when a tweep asked him about the possibility of fighting Ngannou in the future. "I highly doubt it will happen, especially after that first performance. Like I said, the dude left for a reason. He came up with every demand and every request in the world. He knew that the UFC wasn't going to bend, and he found his way out." In a recent interview, Ngannou turned the tables on Jones, claiming that he was the one who was running scared. The Cameroonian said he wanted to fight the MMA GOAT from day one, but neither he nor Dana were interested.
I wanted that fight as well. Let me know that I was the one initiated that fight, that idea over 2 years ago. I wanted that fight, but where was Jon Jones at that time? I don't know. Nobody seems to be interested. Even Dana White, nobody seems to be interested. They always find a way to go around it.
When Ngannou stepped aside and Gane was brought in as a replacement, many believed that the Frenchman would be Jones's toughest test to date. But Ngannou always knew the longtime light heavyweight king was going to win. The only thing that surprised him was how quickly he shot for the takedown. That makes the former champ believe that Jones was scared of something, or perhaps he wasn't very confident.
What I do notice is that Jon was rushing. Jon didn't want to give him space because he knew that
I think he was afraid of something, maybe of getting exhausted at some point, not be able to like grab him. So he was chasing him from the first minute to grab him. He worked out pretty good, but get me some tell me something. Like he wasn't very confident, he was rushing, which is good for him.
Although Dana White has said that he won't do business with Francis Ngannou anymore, the latter is still keeping the door open to a potential move back to the UFC. For now, Ngannou is focused on boxing and is in talks with Deontay Wilder for a Rumble in the Jungle sort of showdown in Africa. Who do you think would win if Francis Ngannou and Jon Jones lock horns down the road? Tom Aspinall has no idea why Conor McGregor is so upset over his recent remarks, and he believes the Irishman's death threats were super unnecessary. The former champ Conor McGregor, will likely make his return to the octagon at the end of The Ultimate Fighter Season 31, where he's coaching opposite Michael Chandler, and the two will fight in the second quarter of 2023. The MMA world is already pretty excited about the matchup, and it's reasonable, because the Irishman has a massive fan base. However, Tom Aspinall isn't very excited about his comeback, and he didn't shy away from admitting it in a recent interview.
Honestly, I'm not that interested in it. I still watch it, but I'm kind of like over the McGregor. I'm more hyped about other fights. Yeah, it's not that for me, there's way more exciting fights out there than that. There's say the heavyweight fight coming up, which obviously I'm super invested in. The London card. I could just sit here and name them all day.
In a since deleted tweet, McGregor clapped back at Aspinall, going as far as sending the English heavyweight death threats for his harmless comments. This is what McGregor had to say in his tweet, which was later deleted. "Bum prick, say sayonara to that Gym King deal, kid. Starve you and kill you. I will you. F***ing disrespectful prick. Don't ever speak my name in disrespect again. Mush potato head." Responding to McGregor's remarks, Aspinall said that he didn't mean any disrespect and that he doesn't know why the Dublin native is so angry about it.
I honestly don't know. I didn't think I have so much respect for Conor. I would never disrespect him or anybody else. I'm not that kind of guy. I definitely don't want to have a beef with anybody. I'm an adult. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to beef with nobody. And if I am trying to beef with anyone, I want it to be someone in my division, so we can at least have let's settle fight and make some money off it. Yeah. No idea. I wasn't. Literally, all I said was I'm not as interested in Conor's fight as I was in other fights coming up. That was it. And no disrespect meant by anybody.
Leave it when he says it. Aspinall has never disrespected anyone, not even the guys in his division, and of course, he has the right to choose which fights he wants to watch. But McGregor's outburst is somewhat understandable as well. He's coming off a couple of tough losses and wants to make a grand comeback, so he won't let anyone undermine the importance of the occasion for him. That is because McGregor understands the magnitude of the occasion, which is why he's putting his heart and soul into his upcoming fight against Michael Chandler. McGregor recently had the chance to work with former two-time UFC welterweight title challenger Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, who has been singing his praises ever since. After fighting Floyd Mayweather in 2017, McGregor was criticized for fighting like a boxer inside the octagon and for being flat-footed, which resulted in his legs taking tons of punishment against Dustin Poirier at UFC 257. This may come as good news for McGregor fans. Thompson says Conor is going back to his karate roots.
If you ever shook Conor's hand, the dude's got a bigger fist than I do. He's got a melon of a fist. I'm like, what the heck, man? And no wonder he puts people out with that one hitter quitter punch. But he's back to his movement, man. You're going to see a better. I think he's listened to the fans. His last two fights with Poirier was kind of in that boxer mentality. He's got to get back to his roots of movement, and that's what we're going to see from Conor next time he steps out there.
If what Stephen Thompson is saying is true, then it's not very good news for Michael Chandler. For the fans, however, it's great news because it'll only make the fight a lot more competitive. Who do you think will win the blockbuster fight between Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler later this year? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you liked our video, please subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell icon next to it so you get notified the next time we upload one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.